You're the only one that said no one will
And
talk you out of it.
I feel for this young man because I can see his soul being wasted away, and it's a dangerous world for young people.
If I said to you, this young man is my son, and as I'm talking to you, you ignore me, you tell me I'm wrong all the way through, tell me who I am, and then say things to me such as, I won't change my mind, but you're the one that's not changing your mind.
You could address yourself on what I said, sin.
Let's talk about facts.
If you want to have intellectual discussions,
spiritually oriented, very beautiful far who you are beyond the personality.
I'm a human being, same as you. Be who you are.
But to answer your question,
what is really going on? And let's get into this.
And what is happening in W.I.R.G.O? What is? Welcome to the wonderful world of W.I.R.G.O, the place where we get to ask what is really going on. Now today we went out to meet people as a character I like to call Christ, and challenge people on a very particular topic for us, which is good and evil. What is it? Why do we use it? And what does it do for us? And pretty much I'm trying to show people what I see, which is, I know what everybody else sees. It's been rammed down my throat for almost 38 years of my life. All the way from my childhood, everybody had a chance to teach me what good and evil was, right and wrong, and explain whether it was relevant. But they haven't managed to do that, really. And still today, they can't do it. And we offer money and all sorts, and people can't do it. So this conversation is between myself and a young Christian lady, a mature Christian lady, and what seems to be her son, but I'm not sure. He does call her mum a couple of times, so I'm guessing that's the reason. But you can see this lady is so stuck in her ways that she will constantly berate me, put me down, tell me how I feel, who I am, and what life I'm living, and tell me that I don't like to listen to anybody. I'm only in it for myself. It's all about me, and I'm stubborn, won't change my mind, and I want to prove everybody wrong. And the whole point of this is asking people what they think. And when you listen to this lady, the entire way through, she tells me she can't be wrong. She's not incorrect. It's all me. And if I question anything she says, I'm somehow sinful or something. Well, you guys watch, and you tell me what you think. Oh, you mean?
Yeah.
You mean this? All right, so... First of all, the bottom part is the most interesting part, and that is that I have something called Asperger's syndrome, so I don't see the world the same as other people.
Right.
But the difference between me and other people is I built a mathematical system in my head how to judge things and look at things.
Yeah.
Everybody else seems to have built another one.
Right.
Most people's are built on this idea that things are right and wrong, or good and evil.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
Right.
I've never seen it in my life, see, so...
We're born into sin, so we're evil before we even take our first breath, you know.
What is sin and evil the same word to you?
Adam and Eve sinned when God created them, and that's we've inherited that, you know. So your autisticness.
So guys, in this part, if you listen to this sweet old lady, I shouldn't say old, no, they don't like that. This sweet lady, she's now about to tell me how the autism that I'm diagnosed with is part of sin and part of Adam and a story. It's like a granny telling a little kid a bedtime story. But this lady lives in this fantasy. She's fallen into this story because she lives in a fallen world, a fallen state. And this is so evident.
And our weaknesses and whatever, that's all come from sin. The wages of sin is death, you see. We're dying every day.
Yeah. So the word sin means something different to me than it does to yourself. It means to take control of someone's emotions and control them through it.
No, you can't do that. None of us can do that.
I can. I could threaten you and you can give me your money. Right, you see what's happened here, guys? This lady wants to prove me wrong so much. She doesn't care what I have to say at all. She does not care. She only wants to prove me wrong. She just told me you can't manipulate someone with their emotions. Now, maybe because she didn't realize that's how she treats people. But this lovely lady is trying to get me to believe you can't control someone for their emotions. And yet, later on, I mentioned narcissism and she talks about it being a bad word. I don't think she understands any of these words. I really don't. I think that this lady's gone all the way through her life living in her own little story and bubble because she's fallen from the grace of God. But someone's tricked her into believing she is in the grace of God. And when you ask her later on what God she serves, she'll tell you the gods of good and evil. But she doesn't serve the evil one. She just keeps him alive by keeping the God of good alive. You'll see. Honestly, I will show all this and you'll see exactly what I mean. But narcissism, guys, is sinning. is also relevant here because she asks me about sinning, and I answer her. I answer her in full detail that sinning, to me, is when somebody is narcissistic, when they use someone's emotions and feelings against them to control them. Like the government do, or your mum does, or your nan does, or individuals like this old lady tries to do all the way through this. But to her, in her head, she's saying she's fine, but she's not. There's many points here you can tell she's purposely just being spiteful and horrible because she doesn't like that my way seems more logical than hers.
I wouldn't give you my money.
No, I know you would, and I wouldn't do that to you, but I could threaten somebody and take their money from them, so I can control them, their emotions. They're frightened to get hurt, so they'll give me the money.
But that's sin. Yeah, that's sin.
Yeah, that's what I'm explaining. Yeah, and all of us have it. What sin is just another word for narcissism.
I know, that's an awful word. I don't.
Well, people suggest it's an awful word to believe in this. Oh, this is my son, by the way. I moved out there. So people believe in this. Yeah, believe sin means that. So, what I'm trying to say here now is that people believe that sin is evil, or some form of evil. Sinning is doing evil acts and things. I don't get any of that. Why have two words in for it? But sin has got like a gentleman points out that all types of evil. What he means is that all types of illnesses. And yes, sin is just one of those illnesses. If you fall to sin, you use people's emotions against them. You attack their emotions and the weaknesses of them to get them to do what you want to do. This is narcissism, this is sin. They say children are born sinners because they don't speak our language, and therefore what do children do? They try to use our emotions and everything to get hold your breath, something. They will track any part of you to get you to see them, notice them, and give them what they want. So they're sinful, you know what I mean? People say it's about deadly sins, greed, and all these things are about you manipulating others to get what you want. It's sinful to do any of the, like what they say, the deadly sins, but all they are signs and warnings that you are being sinful by nature. You are controlling, manipulative, and you think about yourself. You're selfish. It's all the things associated with what they refer to as Satan, the narcissistic side. Me, self, and I. Or self, I, and nobody else, as the lady keeps pointing out to me. To me, sin just means when children are born sinners because they can't communicate with us because we learn a false language called good and evil.
Well, it's something we inherited at birth, you see.
Well, no.
And David said in one of the Psalms,
I didn't inherit it with.
I was sinful when my mother conceived me, even, he said. So,
if I said to you,
in the mother's womb we had made sin.
If I said to you that the Bible is a lock and every single person is an individual key, so when you read the Bible, you don't read the same thing as I read. Like when I read of Adam and Eve, I don't think of them as the first human beings. I think of them the first spirits inside me. So guys, here what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to explain that I don't see the fiction of Adam and Eve being the first man and woman and then somehow leads on to... and this lady, by the way, this comes from the Bible, and then when I say, where's the evidence... to suggest that God or whatever created more human beings other than Adam and Eve, and how did they come from Adam and Eve, when they have 3 sons, all of a sudden then I got to have evidence and stuff. I can't have faith. I'm not allowed to believe this on faith and stuff. I've got to have evidence to prove to her. So she needs evidence if anything is against, but anything for is received on faith. This is called a double mind. Yeah? Even Jesus said, beware individuals like this. They have double minds, and therefore they will side by you when it's good for them and go against you when it's not so good for them. They won't bother with the truth, something divine, something godly. It's got to be their story or nothing else. Or you're the bad guy, the evil one. See what you think. By the way, Adam and Eve, the serpent, they're my intellect, intuition, and instinct within me, and they're created. And together they grow within me together. But we kill this one by teaching good and evil, so it can't do the math because it's a dualistic math process. Whereas if you teach it negative, positive, neutral, and all the language that goes on with that, Adam will come alive again. Never really dead if you're just a spirit. It's just in the body we do that. So Adam is my intellect.
You go to church, darling, you?
I'm not religious personally, but if you're religious, I respect it.
Is this your God?
Our church won't have it that there's a word of religion.
Is this your God?
Oh yeah.
Your God, is this your God?
the thing you place
God
above.
is good. Yeah, all the time.
Who's evil?
So him said it. All the time, God is good.
Obviously.
The evil
Yeah.
and is
But
the devil.
Did
yeah.
your God create this?
Eh?
Did your God create this? The God that you follow?
Did he create evil?
Did he create evil?
Yeah.
The creator of all things, did he create evil?
Not really, no.
Then he can't
because-
be the creator of all things. So therefore your God is weaker than mine. My God is the creator of all things, called the Him. I communicate with the Him.
What God is that?
It's called the Him. It's not a real name. It's, the Him means all that is existence.
So guys, here I'm just explaining like the hymn. The hymn is a mathematical concept I created to understand and explain to people the place and what I refer to as a God. When people say, well, what is the hymn? I say, well, it's all things. I'll come up and say, hello. The hymn is just one of those things that I refer to as the entire universe, including me in it. But where I separate myself from the universe just to be able to see it and see how it works. I call this the hymn. H-Y-M-N. And it is, like you hear this lady constantly refer to God as him, as a he. Like her, like a man. Like, I guess, and all these male figures to do with gods and things like that. When I say him, I'm talking about him. As in, like, not a person, but H-Y-M-N. And this is why the title I give to that which is God all around us. It's just my own little interpretation of speaking to him. You can decide to look at the hymn that way or not. That's up to you.
So for example, if I imagined like a jelly, and I said that jelly is our entire universe and all them little sparks of glitter in there are little suns, solar suns, and revolving around them is all these things. So I would say that in that jelly, even if you're walking around inside that jelly, you made a jelly, right? Because you're inside the jelly. Everything, it's not really a jelly, it's a metaphor to say the universe that's made out of these little atoms apparently. I don't know much about it, but it's what most scientists claim to believe.
Can I just ask you a question? Have anybody won 100?
Well, to me this question isn't to say whether this exists. It's to say whether you can prove it exists to me.
Well, I can prove it to you, but you wouldn't believe it, would you?
Now, this lady is saying she can prove it to me, but I won't believe her. So what she's saying is, I'm going to tell you what it is, and you just have to believe that that's what it is. To explain to me if that's not what she's saying here. Because the entire time I'm trying to get it, I'm saying to her, if you can prove this is real, God is real, by giving me definitions, I can. My God is the hymn. I can give you a definition of what the hymn is. It's undeniable. But people say, can it communicate with you? And I say, well, yes, it's language is math. It's all around us. We didn't create it. What created math? We just assume math is no. Math is almost a universal thing, understood by many cultures in different ways. The cats are going off, that's all. Math, I don't mean 1 + 1. I'm talking about just understanding how language is formed, how everything is formed, how everything works. I don't understand how people don't take the most divine thing and make it their God, that which sits above you.
Right, what do you mean by prove?
There's a holy God that if you try to get into his presence, you would be consumed.
Okay, I'm going to do something now, and then you need to tell me the difference so I understand what you're saying. If I tell you there is no God and you've been lied to, what's the difference in what I said and what you said? Without any proof, it's just your story versus my story, yeah? So you can prove this to me by giving me a definition of the word evil.
So again here, the lady still says I won't believe her and everything, and I'm telling her how to prove these things to me, how to prove good and evil to me. Give me a working definition I can mathematically see, and then I'll go, oh yeah, there it is, I can see it. But people won't do it. The ones they give me prove that it's not real. It's just a fictional concept to look at something that is real and then ignore that and put their version of things in there. The fall of man. I'm going to make everything my story.
A definition.
Another word for me?
No. Not another word. I know loads of words. Wicked, immoral, all these words.
The meaning of evil, you mean?
No, the definition of evil.
What does the definition of evil mean?
No, not of evil, the word evil.
Sin. S-I-N.
Why do you have two words?
Self, I, nobody else. S-I-N.
So if I said, why do you use the word evil for then if you've got sin? Why have you got two words for the same thing? I don't.
There's two words for most things, isn't it?
Not to me, is no. In your world, I believe that. I don't know why you do it. It confuses people.
See what they're doing there, guys? Using two words to mean the same thing. They don't fully understand these words. They're just making them up to fit in their story. in the story that they've fallen into, and they don't want to come out of it. Some people just don't want to come out of it at all. They're too comfortable within their story. But again, I've tried to explain what sin is, how it's narcissistic behavior, basically selfish narcissistic behavior, and that's what sinning is. But there is another kind of sinning. It's called being virtuous, and it does the same thing on the other side. People think, oh, I've got to be virtuous. Don't be virtuous. It's just as ill. It's just the positive illness to the negative illness of sinning.
And I've seen so many people every day confused about it. And I go, why do you do it to yourself? And I don't get it.
Yeah.
It's like using the word evil for...
How long have you been like this? Have you been like it since you was born? Or?
I was abused by my father when I was in the womb, then I was abused by my stepfather, and I was abused by the schools, and abused by everything. And
so the society has messed you up, basically?
Well, no, it made me free.
Society.
I think society messes all you up,
Yeah.
but society set me free because I didn't want to be part of it anymore.
So this is a really cool part I'm bringing into this because let's talk storyline. I had a mental breakdown, and what happened was the old ego I made, it all given up. All the egos just said, I can't do this anymore. I don't understand this. This world is too much for me. I can't do it. So I had to sacrifice that and start again. So, but this way, this time, I went another way. I decided to create three me's inside of me. One that would always be me, another one that would always be the inspiring me that I would look up to the me, and one would be the overshadowing me that always looked down on me. And therefore I have two conflicting opinions about everything I decide to do, and not only will I hear one, I'll also hear the other. Kind of like that little devil and angel type thing they got going on. One saying, go on, do it. It's brilliant. But it's not saying that. It's saying, can we do this? Shall we do this? Rather than go and do it. And then the other one is just going, why shouldn't we do this? What are the reasons we should do this? Questioning everything type thing. Instead of me just going, yeah, let's go do this.
Because to me, being part of this society was not to be with God. So anybody's part of a society, like I don't see those
you
who...
put yourself a label for a site, you're calling yourself autistic.
Well, I'm not calling myself autistic. It should say, and it's that...
So guys, here's another one. Everybody tries to do this thing where they'll try and bring it back to labeling me. You're labeling yourself. It's not, I live in the narrative with you, but I'm not from there. I come into the narrative, the story world that you all live in with your characters, your imaginary friends, right? I come in there and I have to develop a character and the language, otherwise how can I speak to you? You wouldn't see me, you wouldn't be able to speak to me. And so, like on our board it says, I am diagnosed with autism and the likes. I haven't told him I am that. I'm just saying I am diagnosed with that. My language does actually make me sometimes say these things. Even speaking to you now with this character, it's very off-putting. But I understand also that you guys won't understand me unless I do it this way. Well, most of you won't anyway. So, in this guy's just me turning around and saying to him that, I don't label myself autistic. It's a label that was given to me, and it benefits individuals like yourself, because when I tell you that's what I've been diagnosed with, some of you go, oh, right, that's why he thinks this way or acts this way. And it stops you from getting too frustrated, so it's a tool that I use.
I'm being told by you guys that I'm autistic, so for you to understand who I am, I'll put that label there for you. I don't believe I'm autistic, I believe I am. That's it.
I understand.
Right, so what I do understand is what I explain to people is, if you have a... Sorry, my lovely, I say this only to self, it's not an ageism thing, but a lot of individuals I'm with it don't understand technology the same as others today. But if you grew up with PCs in my era, you understood something called safe mode.
So what I'm going to do here, guys, I'm just briefly explaining that what I did for myself is, what I told you before is, how I did is, I pretended like I was rebooting an operating system, but this time, instead of running on Windows, I put in place safe mode. For those who don't know what that is, go check it out. It's a bit old school, make me feel old. Just to go in and find the viruses, and once I did that, I was able to get rid of some of the things that were poisoning my mind, and then I was able to start up again, and then all I did then is spend my time converting from Windows over to Apple Macintosh or whatever. I'm not saying in real life they're better or whatever. I'm just saying as a sort of letting you know in a different way what I'm trying to say, because it's very difficult.
And what safe mode was, if there was a virus on your PC or something like that, you could start up in a backup thing that'll find the virus without affecting anything. We don't have that.
It sounds to me like you're quite tormented.
So,
there's
oh no,
peace with God.
what does
I
torment
mean,
mean?
God can give you
Ah,
peace.
what does
If
peace
this
mean to
young
you?
man started down our church with a
The
young
victory of war.
Calm.
No, can you have peace without war?
I was telling you about the young man.
I know.
I know, you suggested that I'm tormented and I don't have peace with God. I'll never have peace with God or war with God. I always have harmony with God. It's individuals like yourself have peace with God because you believe in war.
Now, to me, and I think lots of others agree, that war, or peace should I say, follows normally war. People say, peace before war, peace from what? But it's just peace, isn't it? Unless it's from something. And I say, what's the opposite of peace? They'll say war. What's the opposite of war? They'll say peace. So they're opposing things. That which is in the middle is called harmony. But you guys want to go from one end to the other all the time, and I don't understand that. So when people say, yes, like the Muslims have a religion of peace, or Christianity has a religion of peace, or something like that, I tell them, I know, which always follows war. So it's also a religion of war. I love it when people say this to me, because and they can't do anything about it. They follow up with, no, it's not. How do you have peace without war? I don't get it. They come in hand, as far as I'm concerned. Don't you like peace? After war, yes, but I don't want the war. So if I got to lose the peace to lose the war, seems I've got to lose the good to lose the evil, I will give it up, and I will do it. Most of you can't, too addicted to it.
Because where you have good and evil, if you get a negative and positive and bring them together, you have something called a neutral. That's a trinity. Yeah. But if you don't live in a trinity, the thing you put in the middle is versus. Good versus evil. So your entire life you've had a...
It's God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit, you see.
Yeah, do you know what that
So
means? That's
God
ego,
created the
superego, and the id inside
He
me.
created the earth, He created us, and we had a good relationship with Him. Then He made man.
You say
Then
he.
made
Why do you keep saying
woman.
he? Is
He
it?
made woman by taking the rib out of man, so that they become one flesh. Do you see?
I don't see, no. I don't see at all. That's very confusing to me. It's like people saying to me, Adam and Eve had 3 sons and then populated the world.
Again, yeah, this is where the lady's going to come out with, about having evidence for this or something like that. And it's like, what do you mean evidence from this? This is the story I'm told. I was being told the story for forever and a day. I mean, I remember being in religious education and by saying, wait a minute, they had 3 sons. How did they populate the world with that? Obviously, God created people elsewhere. Why a MANN story? What's wrong with all them individuals? What, because Adam and Eve were created first? Well, everybody was created in the image of Adam and Eve, so they did all. It's pickling my brain just trying to think about how you guys look at this. Adam is the first to become aware within you. It's your intellect becomes aware of itself, and once it's aware of itself, it realizes it's the only thing that can be aware of itself because it's like an imitation of that which is God, and so it's the only thing that can come aware of Eve and come aware of the serpent and give him. Come aware of all things and give them identity. The problem is we start treating Adam like a slave and we kill her off as soon as we tell him, oh no, good and evil is real. Maybe it's just because how we saw the world once upon a time, we couldn't see any other way. And now they've tried to teach us, no, that's not the way, but people are just so stuck in their ways. Either that or some other things that I'll talk about another time.
How does that work?
Well, nobody can prove that. That is the thing that God created, and He keeps creating. He keeps creating the free head.
Who did He create after Adam and Eve, and who created their sons? Who did He create after that?
Well,
and why isn't it in the Bible?
They got married. Yeah.
What if I told you He didn't create man in that way? What He did, He created man as in the masculine mind, the mental
How
mind.
did we get you then? If nobody created...
What do you mean by get you? Do you mean we
How are
travelled?
we here?
Do you mean who created the...
How are we alive?
Oh, right, and I get what you're saying. I think
are
I
we
understand the
alive?
question. Right, and so mathematics puts in form, mathematics being the language that was here before you spoke English. It's the language you naturally... It's God's divine language.
Put words together, yeah?
No, but I'm on about how...
Yeah, I'm trying to explain to you. I think if you want me to explain the creation of everything in one sentence, I can't do that to you.
I think anyone
But
can do
if I said to you,
In
right,
all
and
respect,
So guys, what I'm going to say now is a brilliant question. This gentleman I'm speaking to, he's very good on asking the questions, far greater than what seems to be his mum. His mum is a teller, like narcissistically telling. But her son, he was much more open-minded and wanted to talk, answered questions, even though they were difficult for him to accept. Maybe because he doesn't believe in the religion the same way as his mum, I don't know. And eventually asked his mum to leave her because she was just confusing the heck out of me, and then started getting very nasty accusations. I didn't take it that way, but my son did afterwards. He had a good say and said, that was really rude. This lady really upset us. And I was like, it's okay, buddy. That's all part of it. But see what you guys think.
I think he would just go round in circles all day with you.
I
don't
individuals
think
like
there
yourself
would be
can,
a
because they're
winner or,
not
you know.
open-minded. You're not willing to see what I see. You want me to see what you see. Not yourself. I mean individuals such.
No, that's not true.
But you just said it. You said we go.
It, isn't it? Because you're determined nobody will catch you. Not catch you.
No, I'm not determined. I
But,
want people to show me.
You see what I mean? This lady, people like this narcissist, I think we're just going to go all round in circles all day with you. But you're the one taking us round in circles. What these individuals do is they'll take you around in circles, and when they realise, we can't make him dizzy, we can't get him to fall off, we can't get him to turn ourselves, right, let's accuse him of exactly what we're doing. I mean, I was willing to listen, talk about things, ask questions, but the moment I ask questions about any of her beliefs or anything, done. Done, Skeeve. You done. No, I don't think we was going to go all round in circles with me. I think we we're going to go round in circles with her, but guys, you let us know what you think down below so I can do this even better.
It's in your mind, that is, and that's Good and Evil does that. In your mind, you will narcissistically thinking, I have to think like you, and if I don't, instead of saying, if this is the world you see it, I'm interested to see how you see our world.
I mean, the whole
Open-minded
point,
people
the
say
whole
that.
point is
For me to learn.
To be proven
I'm not
wrong.
a narcissist.
That is the whole point.
A
No.
narcissistic
It's
person
not
only
like
thinks of themselves, you see.
Yes, okay.
And they try and control it.
In me and you, do you believe the way you see everything in God is correct and what I'm seeing is incorrect? Like you've suggested some couple of times here, probably not on purpose, but you have suggested that a couple of times, like saying, you haven't asked me if I'm tormented with my God or peace of God. You've told me I was.
You're not very peaceful, I'm saying. It's not,
Why would you say that if you're not
I can put my head on the
narcissistic?
pillow and have a good night's sleep, but I don't think you can.
Yeah, I have a brilliant sleep.
And here we go again, the narcissist telling me that I can't have a good night's sleep. Now, she did say, I don't think you can. But she also implies more that you can't. And why does she not think I can? Why? Is there any reasoning on it? I mean, think about it. I do mention this, but I don't believe in good and evil. What's keeping me up at night? Nothing. I've gone. I go to sleep, well, I lay down, I think about some stuff, and I go into lovely fantasy land, and I breathe nice, and then I'm gone. And I wake up in the morning, and my wife coaching me. Brilliant life. I have no issues. But the problem is I see so many people don't have this brilliant life, and they do have these issues. So this is why I'm doing this now, to figure out how can I help these individuals. But there you go, typical Christians. They've got to make you try to feel bad because you don't believe in the same thing as them. That's not what's going on here. Someone else tell me.
Because I don't think of war and peace and I don't think of good and evil. Because I got rid of these, I'm at complete and utter harmony with everything. Nothing. The only thing that can start any war, slavery, anything is that because the other person believes the other one's evil, so they have to do something about it.
You think that
So
because
if I don't have good and evil, what could I be at any distraught with?
But you're determined nobody will convince you, aren't you?
No.
Again, you see the narcissism here? You're determined no one get... No, why would I be out here with a sign asking people and offering money out if they can explain to me? What for? What for? Just to push my... Here, I've tried to explain and justify all my reasonings and everything, but this lady, all she does is use things like this. Oh, you're determined, aren't you? It's a way of trying to attack your emotions and attack you rather than the point. I don't get it. Anybody else relate to this? You've experienced this before also?
Do you see? You're not asking me if I am. You're telling me I'm. That's narcissistic. If you'd said, "Are you determined?" I would say, "No, I'm not. Actually, the reason I'm out here is to get people to prove me wrong because I want to be wrong because I don't want to live in a world all by myself."
You'll never admit being wrong.
Oh, so that you've never...
Do you see? You've just told me you'll never admit me wrong. You didn't ask me.
No.
Is that not narcissistic behaviour?
Hey, another question to you guys. Is that not narcissistic behaviour? She didn't ask me. She told me, you'll never admit you're wrong, you won't. Why not? I am never wrong. I'm incorrect a lot of times, but like then I'm only incorrect until someone shows me the correct answer, and then I'm correct again because I got the right answer. But this lady, she's grown up in a world where everybody's wrong, or you got to listen to me. Oh, look at you, you're just sinful. Oh, you go to hell, you will. And Christians don't understand this is the reason everybody sort of like outside the Christian world hates them, because they're narcissists like this. Very rare to find a non-narcissistic Christian, and if there are any out there, please contact us. I would love to have this conversation with you. I truly would. Hello, buddy.
No, that's
Or narcissistic behaviour then?
Have you ever met anybody like you
What do you mean, like me?
that believes what you believe?
Oh, that believes what I want to believe. Yeah, Christ.
No, I mean like a physical person.
Oh, a physical person.
Yeah.
Only once they've listened to me, never before.
Right, okay.
I've never had anybody come up to me and say, oh, I believe that. But however, youngsters, when I ask them about this, they go, no, you're right.
Yeah.
Now this guy's absolutely true. You can go and check out the episodes yourself. They're great episodes. We're going to be much more of them soon, and much more going out on the street talking to people, and lots of things coming up, depending on the weather. But yeah, go check those out. But you see how they say the point is, have you ever met anybody who thinks like you? If I hadn't, so what? These individuals, again, narcissistic individuals, they think like if the whole world believes it, then it must be true. I'd say that there's reason to think that there's some truth to it, but the whole world can be lied to, and has.
Do you usually find people who haven't been through life so long having this belief?
Yeah.
They find it easier to switch.
But people have been in
Like when my
this
dad
belief
taught
for
me,
80.
right? Like it was much easier for me compared to like my stepmom.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But my stepmom, his stepmom,
My
and,
I believe now, is she?
and people, no, she 100% believes it now because she cannot show me it.
Oh, so she doesn't believe in this?
No, she believes it now.
Oh, right.
She didn't when she first started. She thought I was off my loop.
Yeah.
But then when I was asking her to just show me it in Berbal Stevu, and for 12 years she hadn't been able to show it to me.
So you've never read the Bible, have you?
Yes, I read the Bible, but I don't read it the same as you. See what you're doing again? You're
How
trying
do
to.
you know you don't?
I don't know. I'm reading it like you because I read it with everything in my mind Trinity based. It has to be free.
Yeah.
But when you read it, you read two. Is that correct?
And so, how I know I don't read it like this lady is because she sees good and evil. So she sees it as a story, like a story for a child. I read it like a math book, like mathematical parables teaching me stuff. This is how I read it. And it benefits me that way because it actually explains things to me and life to me in a new way that I fully understand in most cases. But this lady clearly doesn't read it like that. So even though I do ask and say, is that correct? I'm making a statement and asking if my statement is correct. I definitely see this. Most Christians are just Jew at heart. Jew being perspective of Jew. Dual. Good, evil, right, wrong.
Do that? No, Father, Son, Holy
So
Spirit.
this isn't two to you. There's a third one now. Where's the third one?
I think you should be more specific when you say two. Like good
Yeah,
and
no,
evil.
I'm dualistic. So
Just so
to
they
me, a
understand
Jew
it.
mind is someone who believes in dualistic prospects like right, wrong, good, evil, and that's what your religion is. A Christian mind believes in Trinity, and a Buddha mind believes in oneness. So it would put those two together and just say
Oh, so
harmony.
you're more like the Buddha kind of...
No, Christ.
Right.
I believe in free.
Right.
Always free. If it's not free, it's an illusion to me. So there is free here. It's by there.
Yes.
And
I'd love you to come to our church if it was only for 6 months.
I would come to your church, but if I'm going to go to your church for people to push their beliefs on me and ignore me, then I think that's narcissistic and it would cause me great harm. But if I come to your church and you're willing to taking my ideas as well as me taking your ideas...
But you're not going to take anybody's ideas in by the sound of it, are you?
Yes.
Straight away you're going to be...
Would you say someone who doesn't take other people's ideas would come out and talk to people and ask them about them? Or would you say...
challenge you are not talking to people, you're challenging people. But I mean...
Oh, is there a
if you
difference?
could
I don't
say-
understand the difference between talking and challenging people.
Well, you're challenging people because you know they're not going to win.
She isn't far wrong. I know people are not going to win this game because to me it's a trick. I don't think this is real. But this lady's saying it's not real and it's a trick because I won't just listen to him. But I have told this lady, give me a working definition of what evil is that proves it's real, not just some fictional concept that is not relatable to anything other than a fictional mind that is seeing something that isn't real. That's it. That's all it is. But Yeah, me going on talking to people is always a challenge. For me, it's a challenge. To talk to someone is a challenge. To talk to my mates, I suppose, isn't our family, but like to go on talking to people is a challenge. And every time I talk to people, I challenge people because they'll tell me something and people don't speak the truth. So I'll challenge what they mean about things, and if it is the truth.
I don't. The only know you need to know that you know nothing is to know within the mind that knows. There's a love for the art of bluffing. I don't know nothing.
We all believe what we believe. You believe what you believe. We believe what we believe.
I would
Yeah.
like
All
to see
different
this,
beliefs, basically.
And I'm cool. I lived in it all my life.
Yeah, like, we're
but
not here to push the belief
I
on
know.
you. What we are here to do is see if you guys can make your belief more understandable to us so we can
can't.
change our mind.
No, we can't.
That's
Well,
the goal.
there's
why?
Saviour.
Can I ask a question? Why can't you?
Well,
Because you,
Can you let me talk?
go on.
The lady who I felt had nothing but talk with us, is telling us enough now, can you let me talk? And the way she's saying it, wow, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not gonna say anything.
No, you go on, you go.
Yeah, God can look on us. He can look on sin.
You keep saying he. I don't. What do you mean by God?
He's completely holy. He's a thrice holy God, right? So he cannot look on sin. He created
Yeah, no, I've got my
us,
hand up, so I
but
remember the
he
point.
cannot look on sin because that would make him sinful, you see.
Mm-hmm.
So he gave us a saviour, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ was born of man, but God was his father.
Yes.
That's why it was a virgin birth. So Jesus Christ then took our sin and he took it on the cross. The wages of sin is death. We die in the Bible says daily. I mean, each one of us can see a difference in ourselves now from last year, leave alone anything else. So we're dying. We're finite. God is infinite. He goes on forever. So we're finite. We're dying away.
Again, she keeps calling God he for some reason. She talks about like the Jesus story and all this, and the way they say it, and it's like it's designed for little children. God believe in miracles and all this marvelous stuff that apparently Jesus did. It walked on water and all. He was a mathematician, guys, a Jewish mathematician that learned the secrets of the life and self and started sharing them with the people he saw as Jews. In other words, he saw them as slaves. They believed in good and evil, so they were easily controlled and turned against each other. People who believe in good and evil are the most malleable, easiest to control individuals in the world. I can control anyone using good and evil if I wanted to, but I won't, because it is the most harshest and deadliest of sins. I kind of use it a little bit when I'm in the narrative to try and get to a point, so I'm a little bit feminine in that way, but then I do it for masculine reasons, mathematical reasons.
If we die in that sinful flesh,
Yes.
we cannot go to God because he cannot look on sin. So Jesus Christ paid for the sin. He died. The sinless one, if you like, you can call him. He died upon the cross. And that was our sin. It's a wonderful thing Christ have done for us.
Oh, I don't think it was. That's horrible to me. It sounds like a nightmare you're telling me by here, but okay.
It's not a nightmare. He's given us life. He's given us eternal life.
By taking away his one son.
The finite life that we got that's burning away, and he's given us infinite
But it's
life.
He traded. Yeah, but he traded an innocent life for all these lives. That's not good to
He
me.
died. That's how much he loves us, and he really loves us. And nobody will love us like that.
That-
Nobody.
Do you see, it's highly narcissistic. It's telling you, no one will love you like that. I do believe God loves us, but love to me means to accept, appreciate, and awareness. God is the epitome of awareness, and has the same things as we do. So, because we're made in the image of God, so it definitely has the ability to appreciate and accept. And that's I only believe that because where else did I learn it from and get it from? It must have come from somewhere. And I always think everything trickles down from the top, as above, so below. Which means, by the way, many different meanings. I don't agree with this lady's story, only because it doesn't make any mathematical sense. They want us to believe in a fairy tale that God sent his son here and then just had his son die to save us all. But how did he save us all? What did he save us from? What changed when he died to before he died? None of this makes sense. Nobody's explaining this. When I ask people this, they go, "Oh, you're just being awkward and stuff." It's like, so because I don't understand and I want to ask questions about things. I'm now being awkward. I don't fully get it. I don't. That's true. That's why I'm doing this. It's very difficult when you meet individuals like this and not interested in helping you see. They just want to create a story and believe in that story so much because the story they created isn't as good, I suppose.
Yeah,
See how it's
that
subjective, though?
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
he
that
thinks different compared to you.
that doesn't mean the same thing to me. Right, if I ask you a question, right? You know everything you just tell us and all your beliefs and all that. Do you believe you could be mistaken?
No.
I believe I could be mistaken.
There you go, guys. Just the epitome of all this. I've told a lady I could be mistaken. It's my number one rule. I could always be wrong, as you said. Yeah? I could always be incorrect. And the only way to be constantly correct is to accept when you see a flaw and you're incorrect, and then change it to make yourself correct again. Often when someone gives you advice, the person normally teaching me tells me what it truly is of what they see, and then I change my mind to see that. But this lady said she can't be wrong, and I've said I can be wrong. But then most of the way through and towards the end, she's going to accuse me of being sinful, only about me, not caring what other people think. And the entire time I'm asking her about what she thinks now. How many times do you think this lady has said so far, so tell us more about that. Why do you believe that? What's happening there? Or challenging any of my stuff. She said, oh, you're determined not to for anybody to believe you. I'm like, there's such narcissism. Such narcissism. Where did this lady learn to be like this? I know.
Excuse me, sir. If I asked you, somebody who believes they cannot be mistaken about their beliefs, are they open-minded compared to somebody who says, I could be mistaken, yeah?
Now, clearly this gentleman knows the answer, but he doesn't want to make his mum look a fool. He's already watching her make herself look like a fool in his eyes, because the amount of times he looks at her, and even when he says, Mum, it's time to go. That's probably because we were talking too long, actually, waffle on. But she says she cannot be wrong, and I say I could be wrong. Which one is more open-minded? Even children with the idea of what these things should be able to say, well, you're willing to be mistaken and listen. She said, no, I'm not wrong. So why would she listen to me? She didn't listen to me the entire way through. She was ignorant all of who, bless her. But that's the way these individuals have been created. Society created ignorant individuals behind us and Babylonian ones in front of us. Puts you in between a wall and a rock. Wall and a hard place. Rock and a hard place. What is the term there?
Which one is open-minded and which isn't to you?
I don't know. I saw give me a bit of an
See, right, if I said to you, I feel that you do. Just a moment ago, you mentioned that if someone's willing to change their ideas and all that, they would be open-minded. And when you said, I won't change my mind, you were reflecting your thoughts on me, because I'm here saying, I will change my mind, but you've literally just told us you will not change your mind.
So you're willing then?
Did you hear what I just said, ma'am?
In hell.
Explain it to me. I'm literally talking to this woman, this lady, sorry, I should say, asking a question, and she just completely ignores me and goes on to something else. Like, completely ignores me, as if like I didn't just ask a question, and then tries to narcissistically control me by saying, so you're willing to go to hell then? In other words, they're telling you, you're going to go to hell if you don't believe this. Well, why would I believe I'm going to hell if I don't already believe that? Well, you have to explain this stuff to me. I don't get it. I really don't.
Which is, I mean, hell is real. Don't
yeah, I believe you're. To me, I believe
the devil's real. I can tell you that now.
The devil to me is time.
No, the devil is a real person.
A real person.
And he causes terror to us all.
The devil is a real person that nobody's just ever seen ever. Real. Your stuff went missing while I was at your home, and I said, no, the devil came in and took it. Like, what? The devil came in and took it. It's a real person. Real person. If you don't believe me, you go into hell.
And we can all.
Have you noticed all these characters are he's?
That Jesus Christ is the very
He
opposite.
was an angel, wasn't he, the devil? Lucifer.
Lucifer's the angel of light, not the angel of darkness. Satan's the angel of darkness. You keep getting these mixed up. Why do people do this?
He's got so many names, isn't he?
No. Lucifer, in all the Bible, is called the angel of light, the morning star. All the Bible.
Yeah.
Till he fell.
No, that's Satan.
Oh, yes.
Satan fell and became the angel of darkness, and Lucifer is the angel of light.
Yeah.
I actually thought this not too long ago, guys.
It showed him
talked to
the evidence of it and everything. Angel, he's the angel of light. And this is Lucifer, this is Satan. When you put them both together, you get him, God.
I thought he was the same person.
Most people do. But why would you have to... I don't get it. The devil, Satan, Lucifer. What's the greatest trick the devil ever played on you?
I mean...
Do you know this one, man? What's the greatest trick the devil ever played? To convince you he didn't exist. But we know the devil exists and Jesus and God, so who don't we know exists?
Well,
if it's the greatest trick.
The devil
Lucifer
he
is to teach you Lucifer and the thing are the same things. You don't know Lucifer. This lady's God to me is Lucifer, the angel of light, the one that teaches you to be good and virtuous, selfless.
God forbid.
But your God didn't create evil, so how can he be the creator of all things?
Because he can't create evil. He's perfectly holy.
All right, so if I asked you instead, because I'm a little confused and I think differently.
Holy. Why would he create evil?
If your God didn't create this, could he be the creator of all things?
Yes, it's a loaded question, of course, I suppose, if that's what that means. I've put the question just to fit in narrative, because obviously certain individuals, they do try to take you round and round and round and round. My way is just to find a way to veer off. Listen, she's claiming your God created everything, and I say, did he create evil? No. Evil's not real then. Yeah. Who created evil? The devil or Satan? Right, and so not God, devil or Satan. Okay, not a problem. So these two things, the more powerful than anything, the opposite to God didn't create it. No. So you worship two gods then. Well, that's still coming up, but I use the word worship, they have a different meaning to it. Guys, please write down below if you're getting this. If I'm missing something, I want to educate myself on this so I can just see their world.
You do want to answer, but obviously you don't want to upset this lady, because it's a very simple question to say that if your God didn't create that jacket, is it the creator of all things? If that jacket is part of all things and God didn't create it, he wouldn't be the creator of all things, would he?
Created the trees.
Can I ask a question? Why won't you answer that question? It's a very, very easy. If I said to anyone here, if God didn't create this, is he the creator of all things? Everybody say, well, of course not, he didn't create that.
Man created it. God created man.
You're ignoring the question.
I know, just answer the question.
All right, so, okay, let's go there. So, who created evil? If not God, who did it?
Satan.
And so Satan's as powerful as God, that he created something that's the opposite.
Again, we're on the still subject. They often try to ignore this because they don't like it, because it makes everything sound stupid to everybody. And it makes them look and sound stupid. Now, when I say the word stupid, I mean top, silly, or whatever word you want to fill in there. But I have never had a problem with the word stupid. I don't look at it like that. It just means that you're not looking at things intelligently, you're just looking at things the way you want to, and then trying to force them to work. It means a little bit more than that, obviously, but I'm just putting like background things of what that means to me. I hope I got that out right. I haven't forgot what the point was now. Start again, girl.
If not God, who did it?
Satan.
And so Satan's as powerful as God, that he created something that's the opposite.
So here we go. It's the same thing, guys. I mean, they're trying to tell us that that Satan created evil, not God. The creator of all things did not create this. And see how that story has changed now? One is God, the creator of all things, the God at the top, and now there's two gods, Satan and God. God, by the way, guys, in their eyes, isn't that what she thinks. It's Lucifer, the angel of light. And of course, there are loads of stories and where this came from. Who cares? I don't care where the original story came from. This is what I'm explaining to you. Let's just say there's an angel of light and an angel of darkness. One's Lucifer, one's Satan. All we're talking about is empathy and narcissism within you. So they're angles of who you could be. And a lot of people flip-flop between these two in different different topics and different things. Whereas I don't try my best to stay in between them both, so I have both eyes open.
So there's two gods, Satan and God.
He's the anti-God, isn't he?
Right, and so, like I said, in your world, you worship two gods, the gods of evil. All right.
We only worship the one.
There's
two, but we only worship the one.
All right, to me, worship means something different then. So I get what you're saying. I do understand what you're saying, actually. You're on about the worship as in to pray and everything. That's not what I mean. Worship just means to abide by, believe in, yeah.
Yeah, we believe in two, yeah.
So you believe in two gods, yes?
Yeah.
Right, that's a Jewish way. I believe in one God.
He is a God. Well,
No, he's not.
okay.
Do you see how confused I am?
Even this gentleman was starting to get confused, and he understood how confused I was. This lady keeps changing stories and changing things because it's not correct. She reads the Bible incorrectly. She reads the Bible like a 2-year-old would read the Bible. That's a bit harsh, 2-year-olds don't read. She reads the Bible like a youngster, like a little kid. She doesn't read it like a grown adult who can think for herself. She's still a child trapped in an old lady's body. Mature lady, Carl, mature lady.
He's a thrice holy God.
All right, if I said this, gentleman, then can you see from the answers I'm getting to by this lovely lady how I'm very confused?
Yeah.
Well, at least the gentleman admitted that he can see where I'm confused. I mean, who couldn't? It's like wow. what you say to that kind of thing. It's like they can completely see why I'm confused. Well, he could anyway. Sorry, he could see. My son could. Even those on side who we spoke to afterwards said, yeah, that was highly confusing. Don't talk to Christians, especially ones like this anyway. Narcissistic Christians. And the thing is, in Christianity now is so watered down that they allow narcissism. The very thing Jesus was out to try and heal, they allow him in and they allow him to thrive. And in fact, I find more narcissistic individuals within Christianity and religions of that sort than anywhere else. Because they're stubborn, pig-headed, and they do not bend to the divinity of God. They bend to the divinity of man-made things such as good and evil.
See, you're confusing me with a thing.
I don't think there's anything will convince you, you see. I mean, before we became a Christian, we were like you.
Do you know what will convince me? A working definition.
Like
I have said this several times, but you keep telling me there's nothing, and I've told you 7 times. This is why I think I'm being ignored, because I've said to you now, if you can give me a working definition of what this word is, I will believe you, but instead...
We're not going to do it, I don't think.
The gentleman's correct. He's not going to do it because he can't do it. It's impossible. But his mum thinks that it's real, but doesn't know how to prove it's real. And he's realizing this. He's realizing it's not real. But you understand that I'm being ignored by these individuals. I'm asking relatively reasonable questions, I feel. But they're not being answered when the answers to the question makes them look tough, stupid, or silly. When the answers they want to give looks like that, they'll say something else. They'll ignore. They'll say, "Oh, I don't know," or they'll just do this thing where they'll just circle it, filibuster it, or they'll make everything go round in circles, guys. Basically, until you get dizzy. But I love it. I don't get dizzy, so that's wonderful.
No, because there's one. but
I would like to see him come to our church with the young people on Fridays, and
I would love to come down.
Would you enjoy me to come to your church?
Religion, and I think it's beautiful.
Would you ever allow me to speak to the youngsters of your religion, knowing what I can do to youngsters?
Well, you could take your young one here to the church and get to know the people that run the things there, and then you could go down that road.
If I managed to convince all the youngsters of your church to believe in this and not the church. No, if I did.
Yeah, you won't.
You see the ad-libbing? Yeah, but you won't. How does he know I won't? How does this gentleman know that I won't convince everybody at their church? They have no idea that's going to happen. Absolutely none whatsoever, but he's determined to tell me I won't. He'd been great throughout, the gentleman. He was wonderful. He did try to be compassionate to us, knowing I was there with diagnosed autistic, and so he was really nice, and the ending's beautiful. But still, the ad limit is just not needed. I was saying if, but you won't. So,
Do it.
all right, but let's live in a world of pretend. And I went to your church, and 90% of the youngsters then start coming, "Yo, we don't believe in what you're teaching. This is real."
What would happen? What would happen if I went there and started teaching the kids the stuff I understand? And because they're young and malleable, they start seeing what I'm saying way more sense. It's the reason why Jesus said the meek will inherit the earth. The meek are those who are not controlled by others, but they have no control at all. In fact, they're just looking for someone to guide them, someone to show them something so they can stand on their own 2 feet. That's the way I look at it. That's why I say the children are the meek, and the young are the meek, and the vulnerable are the meek, and people who open-minded can be meek because they're willing to be impressed, inspired, and led somewhere by someone who they think can do that for them. And I think there are individuals who can do that in the world. I'm trying to be one myself.
Would I then be banned from going to that church? The question was, if I went to your church, if there's no need to ad-lib, if I went to your church and 90% plus said, "We believe him," not this church. He's saying everything that the church is saying, but instead of saying the story form we're confused with, he's saying in real life. He's literally speaking like Jesus, and we get what he's saying.
Do you know what sin means, S-I-N?
No, I know what it is.
Now, guys, now, poor lady, she probably just, I don't mean that dementia, but she has something, what other word would you use for that? She's not remembering things well. We've had this conversation a couple of times. I've told her what I think sin means. She knows what I mean. And now she wants to push S-I-N. And this is the part where she wants to tell me that it means, that is a self, I, and nobody else, or something like that. I still remember now. And she wants to put that on me to say that's what I am. This entire time she's told us that she can't be wrong, that her way and no way, that I'm this, I'm that. She's narcissistically abused us several times, tried to put us down. She even tried to narcissistically abuse me in front of my son and demasculate me in front of my son, which was horrific, by the way, to witness, really. But I thought, it's all part of the illness. And to her, all that was normal. That was fine. And, in her opinion, Christian. Give me your thoughts, guys. I might be completely incorrect here.
You know what it means?
A non-narcissist person says, what does it mean to you?
I and nobody else.
If-
And you've got the very view of it. You've got the.
Do you feel I'm like that? That I ignore everybody else and I'm not asking you questions and things like that?
No, sin, S-I-N. Self, S-I, you, nobody else. I'm determined nobody will talk me out of them, and that is Satan.
So have you seen, once again, I've just shut up to listen to the lady again, what it is. And she's accusing me of being sinful, she is, as you will see. And this is, I'm self-important, only I, and nobody else. Now, the people who have grown up with me my entire life, like my son, my wife, and people like that, they don't see that, they don't believe that at all. But individuals who just met me told me that's who I am. Even though I'm coming to them, asking them and talking and being open-minded, and all she said is, nope, it's my way or the highway. And that's what she said, right? We rewind back to her saying, no, I can't be wrong.
You're the only one that said no one will
And
talk you out of it.
I feel for this young man because I can see his soul being wasted away, and it's a dangerous world for young people.
If I said
He
to you,
needs
this
to have
young man is
50
my
boys
son,
around him.
and as I'm talking to you, you ignore me, you tell me I'm wrong all the way through, tell me who I am, and then say things to me such as, I won't change my mind, but you're the one that's not changing your mind.
Are you going to address yourself on what I said, sin?
Am I going to dress myself on what this lady just told me, sin? Let's have a look. I waited, I listened to her. I've already told her it's not what it means to me. Explained in depth what it meant to me. This, what's it, third, fourth time she's trying to talk to me about the same subject. Am I just being really thing, you guys? Is there that illness here maybe that I should be seeing? Because when I meet these people, I need to be aware of these things so I can be much more compassionate. I want to be way more compassionate so I can reach different people and talk to them. But this just seems complete ignorance and narcissistic abuse by this lady towards myself. She now wants to press sin on it and now wants me to address sin. I've already addressed this stuff. It doesn't mean this to me. Her acronym for sin is very fun, but what she wants me to do is be shamed. She's trying to shame me. If you don't think that's what's happening, we have a different opinion.
Yes.
S-I-N. Self?
I don't think, it doesn't mean that to me.
And nobody else. I'm not listening to any of you. And you're ignoring me if you don't listen. If you don't say
I don't feel I've ignored you at all, ma'am. I think I'm
you
speaking
think
about
that
everything.
about you, don't you?
I think I haven't.
You feel people, if they're not looking at it to your point of view, they're ignoring you.
No, I only feel if people won't address
God has
my
given us a
questions, ignore me.
spirit and it's a-
You see, she said something, I answered it, and then carried on talking halfway through what I was saying. She wasn't listening at all. She doesn't care about what I had to say at all. I'll listen to her, so if I don't listen to her, I don't know how to communicate with her. But she's just replying to me and then communicating any chance that she gets, or then she doesn't even have a chance. She just starts talking on. I do the same thing, I'm not complaining. But this lady, it's like, I'm struggling. I'm struggling with individuals like this afterwards, trying to reconcile and listen, because I watch this back and listen, trying to figure out how would I be able to convince this lady that it's possible that she could be incorrect. That's all I gotta do. That's doubt. Yeah, doubt is a good thing to have. Why don't people like doubt? Doubt is only, to me, doubt is only a weakness in individuals who believe in false ideologies, because doubt makes you start seeing the falsehood of the ideology. And people go, no, you got a blind faith. Okay.
Spirit that's it's been, our soul has been saved by Jesus Christ. Our soul is dying in us, and Jesus Christ
mine isn't.
saved our
Yours,
soul.
I believe, is, but mine isn't. My soul isn't dying.
It is.
But you're telling me, you're not asking me.
It is. The wages of sin is death. The Bible says we're dying.
Yeah, the Bible says that to you, but it doesn't say that to me.
Well, it would if you read it.
But do you mean if I read it the same way as yourself? But I'm autistic.
That's what Christ died for.
See, I mean, I would if I read it the way she read it. That's what she meant. If she'd said that, actually, I would have been fine with it. But she didn't say that. So you would if you read it. In other words, she's saying, she's correct, I'm not, shut up. All right.
To save our soul.
I don't think Christ ever died.
He did. He died on a cross.
I don't think that, though. To me, the cross and the crucifixion are just metaphors. Like, for example, the cross, if you put a plus sign and a minus sign together, create a cross.
You're very confused.
Let's go.
And you're very deceived.
There you go, guys. The typical talking point. I try to explain an action to him why I think this. You're very confused and you're very deceived. This is someone talking to an autistic person, by the way. Do you know what I mean? It's just no filter. I should try and get that in here. No, I don't want to put that in this. This is a different sort of thing. But yeah, what do you say to individuals like that? You try to explain to them, and the answer is, you're very confused and deceived. When I say why, they won't answer you. But they did need to leave, as the gentleman's trying to pull his man away there.
Oh, yeah. Could you explain to me how I'm... Hey, pal. Thank you very much. I hope I haven't upset.
You haven't. It's nice to hear different views.
Obviously, for some. Hey, pal. I do appreciate that you've engaged us and all that.
We might not agree. But I've enjoyed.
Oh, no. I don't mind people agreeing.
What's your name?
I'm out here to learn why people don't agree.
Cyan.
Like Ryan, but with a C.
So, guys, overall, it was a wonderful interview. I had loads that day of different people. They all coming up, guys. And we have some probably won't go on because they've messaged us saying, please don't put that up. And we won't. We got so many. We don't have to put up. There's a lady who wants to just be blurred out, so we got to try and do that one. And there's much more coming. We're again more confident, and we have methods to get people to talk to us even more now. And pretty soon, as long as the weather holds out soon, and we have the good weather we're supposed to have next week, they keep promising us, we'll get down to Cardiff, the main city centres, and start talking to people about stuff like this and see what we come up with, see what conversations we have, see what people say. Have you ever heard of anybody going around like myself, challenging people that good and evil is not real, and it causes all the problems, and then talking about the stuff in the Bible like it's real, and which nobody can deny? I mean, you can sit there and say, no, but then when I line it up with reality and go, look, reality shows this. How do you know it means that? I don't know it means that. I'm lining it up with reality and saying, hey, there's a pattern here, and this pattern is way better than any pattern that's ever been shown before. Shouldn't we look at putting this pattern in play? No, ancestors said no. Oh, yeah, those ancestors knew everything. Okay. Those ones said no. Yeah, okay. Well, we go way back to the ancestors and said, man, know thyself. W.I.R.G.O Warriors, I hope you enjoyed this one. It was a fabulous interview, and we will be going on to other interviews pretty soon. Stay tuned, check them out. It's just taking time to put together because we have to give people time to contact us to tell us they don't want in it, because that's the way I run my show. Until next time, guys, W.I.R.G.O Warriors, harmony.
To the love, support and sharing of the community that has followed us here on YouTube, we have been able to build a village for special needs children in crisis out in Tanzania. Our family in Tanzania is now made up of nearly 200 children. Most of these children have disabilities, and most of these children are among the most marginalised human beings in our human story. To all who have partnered with what we do, thank you for your love and support. We simply can't do what we do without you. If you visit www.sharetanzania.com/partnership, you will see all of the details there.